Union Hotline is the assistant equipment manager for BYU football, Billy Nixon. Billy, this is a very busy day and time for you. Your social media accounts are blowing up right now.
And we took the helmets and gave them to you for this segment.
Gave the helmets back to you because there's not enough to go around yet. But how are you feeling about all this madness?
Hey, you know what? I'm so happy. All right, our players love it. Our players, when we actually got players involved in a lot of the creation process over the last several months. This has been months in the making, and every player that we brought in showed a bunch of demos to work through it, and the players were elated that we got it approved. And then last week we actually knew we were going to roll it out day one of spring ball. And we had a week of photo shoots last week that we wanted to incorporate those helmets. So we actually announced it to the football team a week ago, and that was fun. We had Tyler Algier and Jaron strap up. They walked into a team room. The team went crazy. Probably 75% of the team had no idea it was coming. But this was a huge team effort, and it really wouldn't be possible without the vision of Kalani Sitake, who coaches all about that player experience, and getting players involved. And this really stemmed from what the players want. And what the players want is we want to be innovative, but we also want to protect our tradition and our core brand. And so the rollout of this, BYU football uniform identity, that really is what it is. This is the core brand of BYU.
I love it. I love that you've embraced not only the Navy, but also the Royal, because fans always go, why don't we embrace the Royal more? It's like they're dual primary colors, so now you have it. What went into the decision to do the matte? Because I think that looks really nice.
So it's actually, we brought in the matte. It's actually a satin finish. It's a little bit more like the red satin helmet that University of Utah wears. I know Washington wears a satin finish. A lot of the Pac-12 teams have satin finish helmets. And so we brought in matte, we brought in chrome, we brought in satin, we brought in regular gloss finishes. And again, just worked through a lot of those different concepts. And when we came, to it, we realized the satin, it worked a lot better with our jerseys and connecting with our colors. And it looks good. And so, again, it's something that we think is going to be a part of BYU football for the foreseeable future.
Billy, I would like to just point out that your polo has both Royal and Navy in it today. Did you do this on purpose?
I did, because I'm a huge Royal and Navy advocate. I get a lot of comments that we have fans out there that are passionate. We need to get rid of the Navy. It's not part of our tradition. The fact is, Navy, it came a long time before Royal did in BYU football tradition. And so, I know we've kind of gone back and forth, but finally we could combine the two. The fact is our players, they love Navy. And when we introduced the helmets to our players and coaches, the feedback was actually that they loved the Navy a little bit more than the Royal one. And so I think they love both, don't get me wrong, and they're excited to wear both. But I think that Navy one, it really represents the strong and rich tradition of some great football players that have come through here. One thing I've heard, a common theme from some of the alumni of the early 2000s, is they almost feel like what they see out on the field doesn't help their experience as alumni because they don't relate. I mean, they wore that Navy jersey for the 4 years they were here. And I'm just grateful that we're able to bring back that Navy lid. We have two former NFL football players, quarterbacks, that wore that Navy lid. We had an All-American running back that wore that Navy lid. That Navy lid was, Kalani Sitake Sr. Helmet. And I think that's what that Navy helmet represents, is the rich tradition of those years. And, win or lose, we have phenomenal football players that wore that Navy lid. That's who we are, and that's a part of BYU football now, where BYU football was and where BYU football is going.
Hey, who doesn't like Virgil Carter, right? BYU wins its first, WAC championship in '65 with the all-Navy lid. So I love it. And you know what really grew on me this year was the all-whites. I don't know that I was into the all-whites before. Maybe it was 2010 Florida State that put me off on that. Anyway, all-whites really popped for me, and white is still going to be the base, and the white helmet is still the base. But now BYU has alternates. Black is out for the foreseeable future, but TBD, I imagine, right? But now you have a Navy, a Royal, and I guess 26 uniform combinations?
Yes, 26 uniform combinations. And again, every uniform combination that we proposed in that 2021 identity plan were combinations that we've used before. And so you bring up the white and white, and we wore white and white back when Virgil Carter played, right? Their away uniform was the white top with the white pants, and then their home uniform was the royal helmet with the royal top and the white pants. And so, again, that is a big part of our tradition, that whiteout look. And I'm glad that it's starting to catch on. I think that royal face mask certainly helps, and we've had some big wins this last year in that look. But to be able to have 26 different uniforms that represent something is exciting, and the players love it. In fact, we've already met with the players to talk about next year's schedule, and it's sad that there's some uniform combos that we won't even have. There's not enough games in a season to wear, but that makes it fun for the players, and every single combo has a story behind it.
Assistant Equipment Manager Billy Nixon with us on BYU Sports Nation. Who's on the consulting board that decides ultimately what colors and schemes you're going to attempt and then eventually go with once you hit the field?
Yeah, so this was a huge group effort. When we kind of started talking about it early on in the season, after we met with players before this last season, that was a huge success, getting them involved in the decision-making process. And that's why last season we had 10 different uniform combinations. And right after that meeting, it was such a success that I met with Associate Athletic Director David Almadova and started talking about, hey, here's some ideas. How can we bring back tradition a little bit more and get a little bit more innovative to provide our athletes with more opportunities to, basically pave their own experience and get involved in the decision-making process. And so Dave Almadova, we sat down with Dave Broberg, who's our creative designer here. John Swift, our director of football operations, he was also part of the committee. We had several students that I just have to mention, Braxton Egbert and Trevor Jensen, that they actually went back and looked at history of BYU football uniforms dating back to 1950. Wow. With the win-loss records and every single uniform combination we have. All the All-Americans or honorable individuals that played in those uniforms, and all of that was brought to the table. And then we created some concepts, put them together in photos. Dave Broberg did a phenomenal job in his creative design of that PDF that we also released. And then we presented this to Tom Homo, and he loved it. He loved the fact that it tied in with our history. A lot of thought was put into it. And so this was a huge team effort.
And there are some colors that probably won't make it in the future, right? The 40-41 seasons, BYU had some orange in it. That's weird. There was a gray helmet, although I could see sort of a charcoal or something. So what colors didn't make the cut? What options didn't make it?
So there's so much thought and effort that went into this that every color and concept that we put forth made it. And so every decision, every picture you see in every combo, there was a lot of discussion back and forth. And so the final product we were all happy with. Kalani was happy with. In fact, his favorite helmet's the Navy helmet. And again, I think that shows that players, right, to heighten that player experience for our alumni, right, they want to see on the field the helmet that they relate to, the helmet that they wore. And Kalani had some amazing experiences in that Navy helmet, miracle comebacks against UVA, the miracle season of Lavelle. And so that Navy helmet, that has a lot of tradition. And so, we need to be careful. And I hope that this puts an end to us getting rid of the Navy. The Navy's not going anywhere, right? That's who we are. We are white and we're blue, right? And so I just want everyone to be very, very clear on the Navy's not going anywhere, right? And in fact, we're bringing it back.
Billy, great stuff. An incredible effort by you and your team in this rebranded BYU football and BYU player experience. We appreciate the time today, man. Look forward to some really fun stuff in the future. Thanks.
Hey, perfect. Hey, thanks. Go Cougs.
Billy Nixon on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, you know why, we show how.
Love it. No bibs, no orange. BYU sticking to what it's been, and